Once upon a time, long, long ago, nicely knitted threads of various colors were being passed down by substantiate hands. They passed down these knitted threads all the way to subsequent creation, where developed spiritual hands received these threads, added their own colored knitting, and passed it onwards to other hands, who passed it onwards to others, who then passed it onwards to the stretched out hands of the higher spiritual ones, who then passed it on to the primordial spiritual ones, who then again passed on to the substantiate. All this time, everyone adding beautiful colors to the knitting. Then, man on earth stopped passing on the threads. He stretched out his hands to receive them, but refused to pass them on. He even started to look for pieces of threads on the ground, instead of looking upwards. Thus, the hands of those above were stretched downwards, but nothing was coming back upwards to them. The substantiate still kept on sending downwards, because all they knew how to do was give, but nothing was coming back up. Then pleas were sent upwards for helpers to go down and find out what was the problem. Helpers went. Some spoke calmly to the people. Some begged men on earth. Some were even severe. But despite this, only a few listened and tried to send up their weakly knitted threads. But the numbers were still few. Even the Father came in his Son to help. Despite his luminous presence, only a few gathered strength to stretch forth their hands and receive from the substantiate, knit and send upwards. Only a few. His presence alone reminded men of their failure and guilt. His eyes pricked their conscience, and he was killed. But despite this, there was some vibrancy coming from the few who began knitting and sending upwards again. This gave hope to those high spirits, and once again, before the earth reaches the point of its end, a plea was sent upwards, and the Father once again came in his Son. This time, he will write his word and show man through his manual how to receive properly the threads handed down, and how to knit them beautifully and send back. Tidings reached up of those who did not just receive this manual, but pleaded to bear the sign of the Son, just as those higher spirits did. What joy, what beauty it was! The cycle would become complete again, as once it was long, long ago. For 1,000 spiritual years, men would learn how to receive and how to give again. And also, there will now be those who, bearing the sign of the Son, would be able to teach others and work consciously with the higher spirits. 95 years have passed since this manual was given to the earth. Many have received the sign of the Son. But where are they? The threads are hanging. The substantiates keep weaving and giving. The higher spiritual have their hands stretched out, waiting to receive, so as to pass onwards. You who bear the sign of the Son, what has become of your knitting?